Hello and welcome to Middle Eastern Thursday. So today, guys, it is all about a major declutter. I have 20-something fragrances that I'm planning to share with you today. I don't want this video to be very long, so if I can't cover the 20-something fragrances, I'll probably have to do a part 2 because I have so many more than just the 20 fragrances that I'm going to share with you today. So depending on how this video goes, I may do a part 2, or you can just see all of the fragrances because in the description box of this video, I have also provided the link to my MERCARI account so that you can take a look at any fragrance that may interest you. But today I'm just going to talk through some fragrances that of course are available on MERCARI for you, and I will tell you a little bit about why they're being decluttered. Now, I want to make sure that you understand that the fragrances that I will be sharing with you today are not being decluttered necessarily because I don't like them or because they don't perform well. Where they don't perform well, or I just didn't like them, or they just didn't work for me, I will be letting you know as I go through them. But just because I don't like them doesn't mean that you won't or that they will not work well on your skin. It just didn't work for me. But I have to tell you that about 90% of the fragrances that I have posted on MERCARI are fragrances that I actually like and or love. So let's go ahead and jump right in. But before we do that, I also wanted to make the giveaway announcement. So as you may recall, I told you last week that I would be doing a giveaway, to thank you for our 10K, for our fam reaching 10K. And today I am ready to do that. So I will be giving one fam member the latest launch from Theodoros Kalatinis, and that is Creme Brulee. Now, I've talked about Theodoros Kalatinis so much here on the channel that I figured it just made sense to go ahead and just give you this fragrance as a giveaway, right? And I also have my own creme brulee, and this is such an incredible gourmand, guys, that I just think whomever receives it will definitely enjoy it. Obviously, as I had mentioned before, the reason for the delay is because I wanted to make sure that I could coordinate things as best possible, receive the fragrance, and also coordinate as best possible to try and open the giveaway to anybody anywhere in the world. And while I haven't been able to figure out all of those logistics, I'm going to go ahead and say that, of course, the giveaway will be open to anybody who is a part of the fam anywhere in the world. If when I have to ship it, I encounter any issues sending this fragrance anywhere in the world, then I will let you know, and we'll have to pick another fam member, unfortunately. But guys, in addition to that, I did want to let you know that the only requirement for you to enter this giveaway is for, of course, you have to be subscribed to the channel so that you are a part of our fam, and you also have to follow me on Instagram. And once you do those two things, all you have to do is in the comments of this video, just let me know that you are interested in this fragrance. I will also be announcing this giveaway in whichever next video I have on the channel. And of course, next week, by the end of next week, probably Middle Eastern Thursday, I will be announcing the winner of the giveaway. So you have a good week to just let me know that you're interested, whether it's on this video or the other video where I actually announce the giveaway, it is fine. The other thing that I did want to let you know is, I don't know if you've noticed that in the last couple of videos, when I've opened the video, I've told you that I now publish videos, right, 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes you get a bonus video. That's because I had been uploading videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, but I find that sometimes that schedule doesn't give me the necessary flexibility because, of course, I have work and I have other things going on in my personal life. So what I do want to commit to moving forward is that I will be publishing a minimum of 3 videos a week. Most of the time it will be 4, and sometimes you may even get a 5th or a 6th video as a bonus. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump right in because we have quite a bit to cover. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes you even get a bonus video. If that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment. Let's go. Alright guys, so before I share with you the first fragrance, I did want to let you know a couple of things about this Declutter, and specifically to what you're going to find on my MERCARI account, right? So I'm in MERCARI and I'm under ArahiWorld. I wanted to just keep it consistent. But what I really wanted to let you know is that the way that I decided to post some of these fragrances was as a bundle. So Middle Eastern fragrances to begin with are quite affordable. And I wanted to make sure that I brought you a pricing that was fair to you and to me, right? So some fragrances that are at a lower price point, I did bundle with others in order to keep the pricing as low and reasonable as possible. I also want you to know that I did not post any fragrance that had any serious dent in it, right? So all of the fragrances that are posted on MERCARI as part of this Declutter are fragrances that barely have a dent. Okay, so today also when I go through the fragrances, I don't think that I'm going to be sharing or showing you the bottle of each fragrance, because all of the fragrances are already in their boxes, because in addition to the bottle of the fragrance, I will be sending you the box that it comes in. It will be packaged as if it were brand new from an online retailer, except that it will not have the plastic, you know, the plastic wrapping, right? But you are going to get your fragrance and you are going to have a nice experience. That's really what I wanted to provide for you, right? So the fragrances, of course, have been priced at a lower price point than what I could find online at the time. And then I did reduce them a little bit more just because, you know, they are pre-owned. But I assure you that all of the fragrances that I am offering on MERCARI are in exceptional condition. And these bottles, guys, are pretty much brand new. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. And we're going to start with a fragrance from Rasasi. And this one is Radi. And I think it's really easy for me to open Radi. Here is the bottle, and I'm sure that you'll remember that this was a fragrance that we discussed here not too long ago. And this is a fragrance that's supposed to be inspired by, I'm pretty sure, Herba Pura from Xerjoff. And yeah, I can definitely smell it. My goodness, it's pretty strong at this point. But I did tell you that most likely I would not keep this fragrance. I was not feeling it, not because the fragrance is not good or anything, but because I do have Herba Pura and I do have a couple of other Middle Eastern fragrances that are quite similar. And this is just redundant for me. And it's not like I really even like Herba Pura so much, because you know how I feel about fruit bomb fragrances. But this one is pretty much a spot on of it. So, of course, Radi will be up on MERCARI. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is L'Adventure Fresh. And this is from the Al Haramain L'Adventure collection. And of course, you have the fragrance here in its box. And here is the bottle. And so this is a fragrance that I really do enjoy. This fragrance is, you know, as the name calls it, La Fresh. It is a freshie, right? But at that, this is a freshie that I think is quite versatile because you can use it all throughout the year. I do enjoy this fragrance. It does perform well, but I just don't need another freshie in my collection. I have quite a number of freshies, and this is not necessarily one that I would pull consistently, right? So I decided to just find it a better home. In addition to this one, there is also L'Adventure Ciel, which is, so L'Adventure Fresh is supposed to be for, you know, for males, more of a male fragrance, but like I told you when I first discussed this one with you, this is really a unisex to me. But this one is more of a feminine fragrance, and this is L'Adventure Le Ciel. So the next fragrance that I have is Latafa Mayar. Now guys, I'm sure that this does not come as a surprise because you know I have struggled with this fragrance since the first day I hauled it. And the experience has never changed for me, and I'm just quite tired of just having it sit there. I don't think it's an experience that I'm ever really going to, you know, get past, and it's just not improving because this fragrance, I know it is lovely on many of you because you've told me that you love it, but on my skin, guys, it just doesn't work. And I'm just going to go ahead and find it a new home. So Latafa Mayar. And this is the Natural Intense, by the way. The original Latafa Mayar is also coming up. I don't know if it'll make it to this video, but if not, it'll make it to the next Declutter video, but you will see it on MERCARI. And by the way, guys, right now on MERCARI, I have, I think, about around 30 fragrances. Some of them have already sold. But I will be posting an additional probably 35 to 40 fragrances because I have quite a number of fragrances that I'm going to be decluttering, and at that I'm still keeping around 125 just Middle Eastern fragrances in my collection. So as you see, I do need to do this. So the next one that I'm going to discuss with you is Mazaji, and I just pulled it out of the box because this is a clear bottle, so you can kind of have an idea of the dent in this fragrance. As you can see, there's really not much of a dent. And I have to tell you, this is not a fragrance that I dislike. It's just a fragrance that I was not pulling, and I just think that it's best that I find it a new home. But this is a very lovely fragrance, one that if I had the opportunity to use more fragrances, I probably would pull, but it was just sitting there, guys. So why just have it sitting there? I'm just gonna find it a new home. So Mazaji is already up there. The next fragrance is Sunrise Killer Oud. And you may recall, this is the one that's supposed to be inspired by Amouage. I can't remember which one, but there's a woman and there's a man version. This is the man version of Amouage, but this is truly a unisex fragrance. This to me is not a fragrance that is a male fragrance. And as you can see, there is the dent. So there's not much of a dent on this one either. I just wanted to show you a couple of bottles so that you see that when I say that these fragrances really don't even have a dent, they're pretty much new. All right, so the next fragrances that I have for you, let's start with Hibiscus Magic, right? And this is the one that's supposed to be inspired by Maison Cribelli's Hibiscus Mahajad. And I have that fragrance, guys. And there's another one in my collection, I can't remember the name right now. It's also inspired by Hibiscus Mahajad. And I just don't need all of those fragrances because to begin with, for me, there is nothing like Maison Cribelli's Hibiscus Mahajad. While this is very much close to the OG, I'm still just going to pull my original Maison Cribelli. So I'm just going to pass this on to someone else, but you can see what the bottle looks like there. I just wanted to show you that one too. And of course, it's going to come in its box. Then from the same Artisan Perfumery collection that you can barely find anywhere, if at all, I have for you also Brown Sugar. Now, Brown Sugar is supposed to be inspired, if I recall correctly, by one of Boho Coco's, I think it's called Boho Coco fragrances. It's red wine brown sugar. I'm pretty sure that's the fragrance. And while I don't have that fragrance, I'm not really gravitating towards that scent profile. So I do plan to order a decant, like a 5 ml maybe, of that Boho Coco fragrance because I'm curious to see if it's maybe that this one really was a serious twist and that's why I didn't really, you know, gravitate towards it. But I'm just not pulling for it at all, so I'm just going to pass it on. And then the next one that I have will not come as a surprise, and I actually have both of these. So this one is Afnan's, and this one is Rare Passion. Rare Passion, and I'm sure you recall it comes in that bottle. And while we're at it, let me go ahead and get the other one. So then I'm also including Rare Tiffany, and if I recall correctly, these these two do come as a part of a bundle. So you have Rare Passion and you have Rare Tiffany. And you know that I've never been able to really enjoy Rare Passion at all. Like, I've tried, guys, in so many different ways, but I just cannot seem to get into that fragrance. But Rare Tiffany is one that I really, really love. But you know, guys, I'm just gonna pass it on. But this fragrance and the other one, I think, are a part of a bundle. So guys, I have all of the fragrances. Like, I pulled the ottoman from my dressing room, which is a huge ottoman, and I put like about 23 fragrances on it that I plan to share with you in this video. And you know, I just stopped the video a couple of minutes and I put the fragrances that I shared with you on it, and then I pull another group. And I have to tell you that this little group of 3 fragrances that I'm going to share with you now, I should call this little group like with pain in my heart, because these are fragrances that I really love, but I just have to find another home for them. I need the space, guys. If you just saw how bad it is here between my Western niche fragrances, my designer fragrances, and Middle Eastern fragrances, and then just affordable fragrances altogether, it is just too much. But let me go ahead and share with you this one. And this one is from Paris Corner, and this one is Rua. So you may recall, let me see. So you may recall that Rua is a fragrance that I really, really have enjoyed since day one. I can't pull it as much as I would like to, because of course I'm always testing, and I have other fragrances in rotation all the time. So I'm just going to go ahead and find it another home. The other thing that I forgot to tell you about the way that I posted the fragrances on MERCARI is the pictures are going to look very nice, right? Because you guys know that I border on being a perfectionist. So I had my husband help me take pictures of all of the fragrances that were going to be posted on MERCARI. And what we did is we used a white background in our home, and then I took the box and the fragrance and sat it in front of that, and we took a picture. I tell you this because I've had a couple of people on MERCARI ask me if I can send them a picture of the actual bottle that will be sold, and every picture that you will find posted is a picture that I took of the fragrance with the box in my home. So just to let you guys know that. And I'm sure this one you'll be like, oh my goodness, she's getting rid of that. So this is Now Women from Rave. And you may recall, I think this one is supposed to be inspired, I'm pretty sure, by Burberry Her Elixir. This is an incredible fragrance, guys, but I own Burberry Her Elixir, and I just know that I'm going to pull Burberry Her Elixir before I pull this one. I'll pull this one here and there, but guys, honestly, I just want to make sure that I don't just waste a bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and find it a new home. Then the last one from this group of the Pain in My Heart group is from Armaf, and it is Miss Armaf Chic. And you guys may recall that there are 3 fragrances out of the, I think, 8 that came out, or 7 in this collection. There are 3 fragrances that I absolutely love. One is Chic, the other one is Attitude, and the other one is Mystique. And I am keeping Mystique because I don't even have the OG of that one. And I'm keeping Mystique, and I'm keeping Attitude because I gave my daughter Attitude because she liked it. But this one, I'm just definitely, and it's already, I'm pretty sure it's already up on MERCARI, and it may be bundled with another fragrance. Another thing that I did want to share with you is when you go on my MERCARI account, some of the fragrances that I'm sharing today, maybe a couple, have not been posted yet. Maybe I'm just, you know, letting you know. If they haven't been posted and they're not showing as sold already, then that means that they are going to be posted. And I'm trying to post, guys, as fast as possible. But between work and the other things that I have to do for the channel, it's just, you know, I can only post when I have a little bit of time in between, you know, activities. So I will try and get all of the fragrance up as soon as possible. But I am telling you, there's going to be a total of about 70, if not more, fragrances that will be posted. So just keep checking every day, because what I've realized, I didn't know that MERCARI had that much activity, but as soon as I post something, there's someone asking me questions or liking it. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to let you know that. So the next one that I'm going to share with you is also a love, and this one is Latafa Nashit. And Latafa Nashit, guys, is just a fragrance. I think this one is supposed to be inspired by Nishane's Ani. I have Ani, the original Ani X, which I absolutely love. And I am going to pull that before I pull this. I just know, right? So this is an incredibly beautiful fragrance. I can't remember if I got the inspired by wrong, but whichever the case, this is an incredibly beautiful fragrance. I'm just not pulling it as much as I should. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and find it a home. The next one that I want to share with you will not come as a surprise because you guys know that this one has not worked for me at all. And this one is Paris Corner, and this is Kisa Pink. And this bottle is like truly brand new because I've never been able to get past a certain stage with this fragrance. Like I've tried on skin, and it just doesn't work well for me. So I'm finding it a new home. Next one is a definite love, and I just really know that I have to let it go. So this one is from Latafa, and this is Tharwa Gold. And let me see, I think it's really easy to open it. So you may recall that's the bottle. Of course, I'm just showing you the box on some of these, but if you want to see the bottle, there's a picture of the bottle on Mercari. But Tharwa Gold is supposed to be inspired by YSL Libre. And I have YSL Libre Intense, and I have YSL Libre Le Parfum, which is my favorite of all the flankers, and it is exceptional. And there's a couple of other Middle Eastern fragrances that I have in my collection that are supposed to be inspired by YSL Libre, so it's just too much. And this one, I was really not pulling much, even though it is an exceptional fragrance, guys. So I'm just gonna let it go. So this next fragrance is one that I really haven't hauled with you or even featured on the channel, because from the first moment that I received it, guys, I like struggled with this fragrance. And this is Latafa Eternal Oud. And I'm not gonna pull it out of its box because to repackage this one was quite a challenge, because it comes in a beautiful dome and it's just a beautiful fragrance. But honestly, guys, I just cannot with this fragrance. You know that I'm not afraid of oud, and you know that I absolutely love oud, but there's just something about this fragrance that does not work well with me, with my skin. I know there's a lot of people that love this fragrance, and it is a lovely fragrance, but it just doesn't work with me, you know, on skin. When I spray it on paper, it is incredible. It is an incredible oud fragrance. It's not a level 5 or even 4 to my nose oud, because the oud has been done smoothly. It's more of like a 3 out of 5 oud for me. But yeah, so I'm finding it a new home. This next one is from Rasasi, and I shared it with you not too long ago, and it's Ayara. And before, you know, the summer season and the fall season are over, I figured I would find it a new home because I'm really not pulling this fragrance much. So just finding it a new home. This next one I think will go pretty fast because I've had a couple of fam members reach out to me in the past asking me, did I know where they could find this fragrance because it was sold out everywhere. And I have the original. Well, let me tell you what it is. So it's Al Haramain, and it's Niche Royal Rouge, which is supposed to be inspired by Armani Privé's Rouge Malachite, and that is a fragrance that I also own. And there's another fragrance I think that I have in my Middle Eastern fragrances collection that's supposed to be inspired by that same fragrance. It's just too much, guys, and I just know I'm not going to pull this as much as I should, so I'm just going to go ahead and find it a new home. So the next 3 fragrances, out of these 3, there is one that will not be a surprise to you because I hauled it with you here on the channel, and from the first moment, guys, I just really did not enjoy this fragrance. It is very linear to the point of boring for me. I just really, and I'm talking about Emir Factory, and this is Just Bergamot. So yeah, this one is, it just doesn't work for me at all. And it's not that it doesn't smell right on skin or on paper. It does smell what it's supposed to be like. It's just bergamot. It's just like, it doesn't excite me. So I know I'm just never going to pull it. And this is pretty much a full bottle. So there it goes. The next one that I'm also really not pulling as much as I should. And this one, I think is supposed to be inspired by Le Labo 13. Anyway, no, it's not another 13. I think it's Le Labo 13. And this one is Rich Santal. Incredibly beautiful fragrance. It is a definite, not love, but super like for me, like close to love. Maybe if I would have used it more, I would have fallen crazy in love, you know, with it, but I would still be decluttering it because this is not a fragrance that I'm going to pull much. This is not a scent profile that I pull, you know, frequently. And when I am in the mood for it, it's because I think of a specific fragrance that I feel like wearing that day. And I have other fragrances that are in that same like clean musk kind of scent profile that I've hauled recently, both in my Western niche and in Middle Eastern, and I'm pulling those much more than this one, so it's time to find it at home. So this next one, I can't remember what it's supposed to be inspired by, but if I had to, I think it's Trussardi's Passeggiata, Emanuele Vittorio II, which is a fragrance that I absolutely love. I actually have talked about this fragrance and compared it to that one directly on the channel, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty much sure that that's what this one is supposed to be inspired by. And this one, of course, is Art Al Saffron, and this is Caramel Oud. This is a lovely fragrance, guys. Performs very, very well. But I just know that, you know, I have so many fragrances right now in this scent profile, whether in Western niche or affordable or Middle Eastern or even designer. There's just so many fragrances right now with this scent profile or similar to it. Not the exact same fragrance, but very similar to it. And I have the OG of this fragrance. So I'm just going to go ahead and find this one a new home before it just sits there. Right, guys. So I've shared with you quite a number of fragrances, but I just took a break and I pulled a couple more, you know, because I figure I still have some time. So let me go ahead and share this next one with you. So this one is from Lattafa, and it's Emir. And you guys may recall that I just hauled this recently, and I don't even think that this one is really inspired by anything. And if it is inspired by anything, I don't recall what it is just from sniffing this. So this may very well be a twist, because this box does remind me of Tiziana Terenzi boxes. It's a very lovely presentation. It's just very, very nice. And it is a pleasant smelling fragrance. It is not a love for me. It is a definite like. Because it's not a dislike, but it's not one that I know that I'm ever going to really pull. So I've just decided to just pass it on. So this next fragrance will not come as a surprise to you, because from the first moment that I hauled it with you, I told you exactly how I felt about it. And this one is from Al Rehab, and it's French Coffee. And for me, this is just too much coffee, guys. You have to be a true coffee fragrance lover to really enjoy this fragrance. This is as real as a coffee note will get in a fragrance, in my opinion. This next one is a definite love for me, but I just know that so far I haven't pulled it as much as I should. So I'm just going to go ahead and, on behalf of space, because this is quite a large bottle, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. And this is from Lattafa, and it's Al Nashama. And you may recall this packaging. Let me see, because I think this one, yep, it's quite easy to open. So there you go. And yeah, I'm just gonna find it a new home. Now this next one is a fragrance that truly is a heavy like for me. Out of this collection, all of the fragrances that I've hauled so far are fragrances that I love, but I had to be honest with myself, because while I want to keep every single one of the fragrances in this collection, and knowing me, I'll probably end up picking this one up again in the future, right now I'm so pressed for space, guys, that I decided to declutter it, because while I love the others and I have been pulling them more, this one is one that I have barely, if any, pulled after really putting it through the test cycle, right? So, and I'm speaking about Niche Emirati, and this one is Vintage Castle. Lovely fragrance, but gotta go. Now this next fragrance is a fragrance that I can't remember if I've discussed on the channel or not, but with all of the mango fragrances that I have in my collection, plus other mango fragrances that have been launched this year and that I have picked up in Western niche, this is just a fragrance that I just know I'm never going to pull it. I tried to see if my daughter wanted it, but she's not interested. And this one is Yara Toast. So if you're interested in a mango fragrance, to me, this is not the most realistic of the mangoes, but this is a pretty nice mango fragrance. And there's a ton of people that absolutely love it. So yeah, it's being decluttered. Next one is our Moth Ego Exotic. I think this one is called, yeah, Exotic Ego or Ego Exotic. So this is a very interesting fragrance, and I'm gonna go ahead and open it and pull the bottle because although you can see the picture on MERCARI like the others, this bottle is a bit different, and I just want to make sure that you remember that this is the bottle that opens like this. That is so annoying to me, but I'm not decluttering it because of the way that it functions. I'm decluttering it because, well, it's a wonderful fragrance. It really, really is. I'm just not pulling it. I'm not pulling it because I have so many other fragrances within this same scent profile that I guess I'm loving more. So I'm just gonna find it a new home. So this next one I think is the last one that I will be sharing with you today. And this is from Gulf Orchid, and this is from the Musk collection, and this one specifically is tropical fruits. And I just want you to know, I want to remind you that, so the reason I'm decluttering this one, right, this is supposed to be a musk fragrance that brings in some tropical fruit notes. I can't seem to find the tropical fruits in this fragrance. It has had the opportunity to macerate for I think a couple of months, and I just didn't feel like even testing it again. It just didn't. I tell you, once I have a very kind of like weird or negative experience with a fragrance, it takes me a while, if ever, to like revisit it or want to revisit it. And I just know that this one is just gonna sit there. So, you know, before the season is over, someone can enjoy this beautiful musk fragrance. Maybe the tropical fruits will show up on your skin, because they certainly did not on mine. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's declutter video, and I can tell you that there's so many more fragrances. I am definitely going to have to do a part 2 with you, but I did want to at least come on here and start to share with you, and of course give you the link to my MERCARI account, which you can find in the description box of this video. I also wanted to let you know, because I keep getting this question on DMs and in the comment section of videos, where can you buy a fragrance? In this video, I did not link all of the fragrances that I discussed with you today, because they are all available on my MERCARI account. So you don't need to go to another site and pay more money, because these fragrances are pretty much new, right? But typically in all of my videos, I will provide you with a link to all of the fragrances that I discuss in the video. Sometimes they are affiliated links, but most of the time they're not, because, you know, I guess I'm not at that level yet where I have all companies reaching out to me trying to give me discount codes and affiliated links, which is okay. But I just wanted to let you know that, because I've had so many people ask me that question. But today's fragrances will not be linked, because we don't need to, because all you need is the MERCARI link to go find them. So try and take advantage of these deals, guys, because I think that the pricing is quite reasonable. I'm also paying for the shipping in each fragrance, which I forgot to tell you that. So the price that you're going to see for the fragrance or the bundle of fragrances includes the shipping. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And of course, you know that you picking up these fragrances does help me, does support the channel, the expenses of the channel. And thank you so much for hanging with me today as always. And I will see you in the next video.